Alrighty, we have another best of three here from the Warpstone Cup between Calambity and the Gentle Rat. Two very nice players. And the Gentle Rat was this like good player that popped up for a bit, had some good vibes, played some Skaven, had some fun, and then kind of left the scene for a while. Popped back in with this next big tournament, so I'm curious what form he's in. Calambity here on the Vampire counts. Very strong newer player to the scene. I don't know how long he's been playing Total War, but I think he's been around our scene for like 4 or 5 months at this point, and already is a very, very solid player with his kind of own unique playstyle. For the Vampire counts of Calambity versus the Vampire Coast of the Gentle Rat, we have a bunch of Direwolves, including the Dire Pack, Skeleton Spearmen, Graveguard with great weapons, and a front line of zombies with some Crypt Horrors. Do have 2 Corpse Carts, both with Unholy Lodestone, and Heinrich Kemmler with his own aura, I believe. The Chaos Tombblade, so he has a lot of healing auras. Then we have 2 Banshees. Looks like both just brought Slippery. Neither of them have their little Banshee Shriek thing, the -4 leadership AoE. The other side for the Gentle Rat and the Vampire Coast. Tide of Skjold plus other zombie deckhands mobs on the front line, some polearms mobs on the sides, 2 bomber mobs to help clear out some stuff, and then pistols and hand cannons in the back with a deck gunner, depth guard, and 2 Rotting Promethean gunnery mobs in the back. Already I'm very worried about the coast. They didn't seem to know that this map was a big old hill in the middle that you have to meet up on, and the deck gunners just have nothing to shoot at. They can't see anything until it's going to be really close to them. So I am a little concerned about their sight lines. Also a little worried about the hand cannons. So I think the hand cannons were brought in case of Vargeist, which there are none. Hand cannons are generally thought of as a bad unit, but one area that they just universally are accepted to be amazing is versus aerial units. Their shot spread and high DPS just kills anything in the air because their line of sight problems don't come into the fore. Bomber mobs trying to clear out these Graveguard that are stacking up. The healing aura of the Unholy Lodestone plus the support of the Banshees is just getting through the deckhands mobs pretty easily. You can see the bombers are having more success versus, what the fuck? That's a Wind of Death! That's a Wind of Death! It went through a lot of zombies on both teams, but also did good damage to the Graveguard. I suppose I should mention, Count Noctis, Invocation to Heck, and Wind of Death as his only spells. It's a little wild. That's a summon from his Moon Dial, it's not a spell. Dire Pack in deep, trying to take out the hand cannons. Looks like they will succeed, though they will die for the effort. And the Banshees are trying to 2v1 Count Noctis. I suppose that's a neat little tech piece to make sure you can kill him. The Vampire Counts aren't exactly known for having good duelists without taking dragons. And again, with the hand cannons present, you don't really want to take dragons. Yeah. Dire Pack diving in onto deck gunners. Dire Wolves, I suppose. And the deck gunners are instantly deleted. Their low HP pool and insanely low melee defense is just not going to help them at all here. They are gone. Balance of power is about 50-50, which seems odd. I really feel like the Coast are in trouble. I suppose they still have Depth Guard. They still have both of their Promethean gunnery mobs, and Noctilus is healthy. So there's a lot of value on the field, even though I just look around at this and I'm like, yeah, the Coast are in trouble. A bit of a whoopsie here. We do have the second Corpse Cart with the Unholy Lodestone lagging way behind, so these Graveguard aren't getting healing or stat buffs right now. Invocation to Heck Overcast is going to help with that a little bit. I think, though, with 2 healing auras and Heinrich Kemmler's 3rd healing aura, pretty sure Graveguard are all going to heal cap before they lose the game anyway, and the Corpse Cart is moving up, so I think it'll be a no harm, no foul situation, but definitely not something you just want to sacrifice. As this Corpse Cart needs to back off, Noctilus taking his giant halberd to it as the Lamper's Revenge grind through zombies. They are going to turn tail and run, heal up a little bit somewhere else, somewhere safer. As that was an overcast invocation of Nehek from Noctilus, not from Kemmler this time. Hand Cannon Pistol Mob on the back line, still doing okay, but Kemmler is in, and does he use a zombie summon, or is it Krell? It is a zombie summon. Trying to take out these pistols. As the Banshees and Graveguard pursue the Rotting Prometheans that aren't the Lamper's Revenge. The only Crypt Horror here is kind of getting shredded by the handgun mobs. Even in the low ground, their hand cannons firing up and at them is a great angle for those guys. And Noctilus still hunting down the Corpse Cart with Zealous Zeal, he said, accidentally getting halfway through a sentence before he realized he had no way out of it. Zealous Determination? I don't know. It's fine. Just leave it alone. Zealous Violence. Just let it happen, dude. Just take the L. Zealous stick poking! Anyway, he's going to kill the corpse guard any second here, as the Lampish Revenge also have it surrounded in. And these Graveguard could use a little bit of support. I wonder if there was any way for Kemmler to get over here and provide his healing, but also attack damage buff of the Chaos Tomb Blade. That would be very good. I don't think it's going to happen. Something is occurring here. It looks like the Wraithstorm from Count Noctilus. I don't know where the healing of the Depth Guard is at, but they've been regenerating slowly, plus getting Overcast Invocation and Hex from Noctilus, so honestly the Depth Guard probably getting very low on max HP. Yeah, there's their heal cap. Rotting Prometheans crumbling. Hand Cannons not able to fire. Lampish Revenge taking a bit of damage from these Graveguard, but looks like they'll prevail on the day. We still have a Krell summon, don't we? Yes. Krell will be very good against Lampish Revenge and Noctilus, so I wonder if he's just saving for a late game scenario where the Vampire Coast can't just run away. Like, if they're your last units left, then you have to fight Krell. Otherwise, if he did it now, they could just, like, bury him in zombies and leave him there. Kemmler has Cloak of Mists and Shadows for 75%. Wow, 75% physical resistance. Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. The Banshees also have good armor piercing for poking down Lampish Revenge, I suppose. Yeah, it could be a good tech piece here. The Depth Guard are about dead. Invocation Heck trying to heal them back up. There's a whole bunch of random zombies around. And these Graveguard are still technically in it. They aren't near the Corpse Cart, but they are getting the Chaos Tomb Blade from Heinrich for a bit of healing. It looks like the Corpse Cart's trying to come over here and help them out, get another healing aura onto these guys before they fade away entirely. Look at these ones just clutching to life. Oh, they're trying so hard. The Unholy Lodestone's also here. They're trying. They're trying to hang on. Oh, it's so close to this Graveguard being dead. Zombies are fading away. Some of them were Noctilus's summons. Some were not. And all four of the Graveguard Great Opens are extremely low on HP. And that is going to be a problem. We might need them to clear out the Lampish Revenge, though I suppose, like I said before, the Banshees are doing a good job. One of the Graveguard finally gives up the goose and dies. For the coast, we have 5 chaff units still technically alive. Looks like the Depth Guard have faded away entirely. Lampish Revenge very near their heal cap. I don't know where Noctilus's heal cap is, and like I said before, we still have Krell. Graveguard getting low. 17 models, 16 models. Graveguard is dead. As the Lampish Revenge went with it, though. Kemmler checks out a zombie summon himself. I still really do think the Coast have got this. I mean, sorry, the Counts. Counts have got this. As I was saying earlier in the game, I don't know what they do to kill the Banshees. Kemmler is jumping in. A Wraithstorm is coming for him. It looks like he's going to try and get away from his units so splash damage doesn't hurt them too much, but he's not going to get out in time. He is going to accidentally bring doom upon some of his own troops. Skeleton Spearman is real. This zombie is not. And the Spearman is getting double healing from this, but yeah, with all this stuff left, Noctilus is taking big damage from the Banshees, who turned out to be the MVPs of this game. And now we get a Krell summon, probably to tip us into army losses. No, it's a zombie summon. He is really holding on to Krell. Look at those Banshees, man. Look at them. They are killing it. That is a really cool tech piece here. Both of them getting above and beyond their value. Noctilus dies, and there goes the Coast. Didn't even have to use Krell. Game 1 goes to Calambity. Kemmler did alright. He was a good support guy, but the Banshees were the real heroes, as I mentioned, as the game was fading out. Graveguard also did very nicely. Skeleton Spears and Zombies did what they had to, and then the Dogs shut down all of the ranged for the Count side. For the Coast, Noctilus did amazing. Both the Gunnery Crabs did fine. Depth Guard did okay. Hand Cannons, mixed, but overall fine. Bombers, mixed, but overall fine. And then the Zombie Frontline did okay. It did its job. After Game 1's Undead Mirror match, nobody's messing around anymore. We have Bretonnia versus Grand Cathay, 2 very strong factions right now, though Calambity taking a different build than I'm used to. And the Gentle Rat also taking something strange. Yunbo, do not see a lot of him. Don't see a lot of him at all. Firing Rocket, Zaytang. Other good stuff. All right, let's get into it. We have triple Royal Pegasus Knights for Bretonia. Do have Perfect Vigor. They do have that damage resistance aura that any Grail type unit does. Royal Pegasus Knights are considered Grail units. They're just Grail Knights that can fly. Royal Hippogriff Knight as well. Enchantress down on the ground with Dwellers Below and Regrowth, so just the expensive spells. And then we have Peasant Mobs, Men-at-Arms, and a whole bunch of Archers. As you can see, raining in, we do have the Fire Rain Rocket. Zaytang as well. Yenbo with his Executioner ability. And then Net. Net and Jade Shield. Solid stuff. Peasant Long Spearman for him. Triple Iron Hail Gunner, a Jade Lancer, and then a box of Jade Warriors. Can Bretonia get through it? Let's find out. Though, God, if anything gets netted in front of these 3 Iron Hail Gunners, it is doomed. Zaytang is trying to snipe out the Grail Relic and make the Peasant front line much more vulnerable to routing. He's just waiting for something really worth his time to show up, but in the meantime, he'll take out the Grails. Sure, why not? 2 Peasant Bowmen already routing out of 3. Zaytang is going to finish off the Grail Relic on his own, though Jade Lancer's kind of getting in the way of their own Iron Hail Gunners and stuff. Iron Hail Gunners will actually end up finishing off the Grail Relic as Zaytang is busy doing other stuff, shooting at the Enchantress for 1. She does have a pretty strong missile resistance. 15 plus or 15 ward save, so I guess only 30%, but still, it's something. And Iron Hail Gunners do get a net down, an overcast net, so it's going to try and stop the Pegasus Knights from getting them, but it looks like the Pegasus Knights get there anyway. The Enchantress's Comet hits the front line. Plus a Dwellers Below. Oof, nasty Dwellers Below into the Iron Hail Gunners and the Jade Lancers. Realizing that these Royal Pegasus Knights were screwed anyway, might as well take out both those things from your opponent as well. And we've already lost 2 Iron Hail Gunners. We've pretty much lost the Jade Lancers, and there goes the final Iron Hail Gunner to the Royal Hippogriff Knights. Bretonia did trade a Royal Pegasus Knight that they can maybe heal up, but everything else is fine. This is a really good start for Bretonia, to be honest. Their peasants are all getting murked, but it's kind of getting a collective who cares from me. Enchantress at half HP coming out of the forest now. She can't bother to use healing on herself. Her knights need it much more. And the Hippogriffs rout off the final Iron Hail Gunner as Yenbo tries to get involved. Does Yenbo have a net for these guys while they're standing in the middle of 3 different units of spears? Because that would be huge. But it looks like the net is still on cooldown from earlier. Zaytang's just going to poke them on the way out. The Fire Rain Rockets, making sure the Peasant Bowmen can't get in range of the Peasant Long Spears of Cathay. All the Royal Pegasus Knights rear charging the Jade Warriors, not getting much done, deciding against it, and then walking away as Zaytang pegs one of them right in the face. And Cathay is getting further and further ahead on the balance of power, though it doesn't feel like it. It feels like Bretonia is cleaning up here. Big old cluster as Zaytang shoots into them. I also wouldn't hate for the Fire and Rocket to just accept a little bit of friendly fire and hit this cluster of Knights. I think that would be huge. The Hippogriff Knights look like they're going to dive Zaytang. And he's surrounded by spears. Grand Cathay is largely just like, sure, do it, punk. I dare you. A double dog dare you. Peasant Archer still trying to get here. Still trying to get back into the fight somehow. The Enchantress is chilling off to the side. Does not have Earthblood. Only has Regrowth and Dwellers. The Hippogriff Knights getting the healing. The Pegasus Knights will not. In any fashion. Cathay does have an unholy amount of spears. They also have a net caster, so if you land, you're at their mercy a little bit. Zaytang still has 21 shots with which to poke the Bretonians. Second Chalice of Potions out onto a clumped up Peasant Long Spearman. They aren't dodging yet, so I don't think they know it is coming. Now they start to scoot in, but I'm betting the Comet will curve right and hit them anyway. It curved right and hit them anyway. I'm a genius, and also that thing pretends to be random, but it's not. It definitely curves towards the opponent. I've watched enough Bretonia games from games 2 and 3 that shit ain't random. Anyway, Fire and Rockets get a really nice volley into the Royal Pegasus Knights as they fly forward. Zaytang's also trying to snipe them out a little bit, and in they come. Landing on the Fire and Rockets as the Hippogriffs try and take out Yenbo. I just realized the Enchantress is so low that Yenbo could probably execute her. If she gets too close, he can just Emperor's Executioner. Which would be real bad for Bretonia. Fire and Rocket almost out of ammo, so it continues to just harass these guys. I think it should probably spend the rest of its ammo on Peasants because it could rout them for the 3rd time and just shatter them off. Rather than shooting at Flying Knights. It only has 1 volley left, so I suppose it's kind of a moot point. There is a net. Overcasted net from Yanbo. Peasant Long Spears are going to run in and try and hit the Royal Pegasus Knights while they're stuck on the ground fighting these Jade Warriors. The Hippogriff Knights are ignored as they're fighting on top of Peasant Long Spears already. There's no real reason to net them. Looks like he's going to get rid of these last 2 Royal Pegasus Knights while he can. Leave the Hippogriffs alone versus all the spears Cathay can muster. I love this. I love that Zaytang's just been standing on spears like, do it. Do it! See what happens! Now, I wonder if the Enchantress has been saving up Dwellers Below to cast right here just as the Hippogriff Knights go in so that they kill off both the Peasant Long Spears and then Zaytang is all alone. But he just shoots her. He shoots her for waiting around and lurking. Zaytang lining up shots wherever he sees fit. Cathay has a couple troops rallying, but it's really not that big of a deal. The Fire and Rockets fire once again on the Pegasus Knights that were flying in. They still have 1 ammo. They've had 1 ammo for quite a while. There's the Dwellers Below, just like we suspected. God, I love being right all the time. It's great. It is great. Dwellers Below deletes the Peasant Long Spears that were defending Zaytang. And Zaytang immediately starts to move. He knows he needs to get back to other Peasant Long Spears before the Hippogriff Knights isolate him, but then instead he gets distracted. He gets greedy. He gets hungry. He wants to hit the Fey Enchantress, which I don't know why you'd bother. Yanbo still has the Executioner ability, and it can only be used on Lords or Heroes. So it's not like he can use it on the Hippogriff Knights or something. Fey Enchantress is coming far too close, as Yanbo can just point and click on her to kill her. She takes a bunch of damage. And Yambo's coming over. Does he have the Executioner still? Yes, he does. Looks like the Fae maybe realized it. No, she's straying way too close. There it is, and she is dead! Executed by Yambo. Punished for her greed. She is gone. And now the Hippogriff Knights are left all alone. Everybody else in Bretonnia has abandoned them, I guess, except for this one Pegasus Knight. But army losses will take him down. And that is GG. Yambo making a rare appearance in a competitive game. He did alright too. His nets were pretty good. His Executioner did fine. Zaytang 2,900. Fire and Rocket 2,200. Iron Hail Gunners mostly got shut down. Jade Warriors held for a while, and then Peasant Long Spears. Fine damage. For Calamity, his Royal Pegasus Knights struggled. Royal Hippogriff Knights did okay, so did the Fae. All of his peasants died. Which brings us to Game 3. Which of these players will go 2-1? The other will go 1-2. 3 wins, and you're on to stage 2. 3 losses, and you're out of the tournament entirely. So one of them is going to be on match point. One of them is going to be on back against the wall, I guess, is what I'd call that. Gentle Rat betting it all on Chaos Dwarves. And a very small Chaos Dwarf build with that. Alright, what do we got? Calamity Zinch. Kairos, surprisingly enough, with Pendulum, Blue Fire, and then his net. On the other side, we have a Soul Grinder of Zinch. Very popular nowadays. A big air force of Furies, Screamers, and Changebringers. I thought in the loading screen I saw 2 Changebringers, but I guess it was just 1. 1 Changebringer, 2 Furies, 2 Screamers, Kairos. On the ground, 2 Forsaken, and a front line of Zongors. For the Chaos Dwarves, we have 2 Flying Bulls. One is a Sorcerer Prophet of Fire with his heal whenever people cast spells too near to him. Cascading Fire Cloak for his only spell. On the other side, we have a Metal Caster with Final Transmutation and then Reforge for the heal. What they're going to heal is going to be the Demon's Tongue, Iron Demon ROR. Then they have Bull Centaur Renders with Great Weapons, Triple Infernal Ironsworn. Oh, one's just a caster for ROR, but still pretty good. So a lot of blasting charges and single entities. Soul Grinder is currently shredding the Infernal Ironsworn. I'm a little worried what can stop the Changebringers in the sky. We'll see. But damn, Infernal Ironsworn is almost entirely dead. Changebringers just light them up too before they run Soul Grinder now going to start poking the Sorcerer Prophet. I wonder if almost you should pick that poke down the Demonsmith Sorcerer since he doesn't have a heal. If Kairos could net them in front of the Changebringers, that would be pretty huge. But it looks like he has no interest in doing that for right now. He's just going to fall back, let the Soul Grinder fire. Soul Grinder's already down to about half of its ammunition missing, though. And there's another blue fire out. Pokes down the Blazing Beards. The Chaos Dwarves are not having fun in the sun. Changebringers continue to evade the Demonsmith Sorcerer of Metal, while Screamers are going to do a little bit of peeling for them. Soul Grinder continues to roll the Blazing Beards. Now it's going to aim at the Infernal Ironsworn. Bop, bop, bop. Insane damage. Demon's Tongue is trying to get some value back, realizing there's not a lot of mass that can stop it. It is just going to roll through Forsaken and Zongors and whatnot, while Kairos gets Arcane Surge for even more spells in his time. The Changebringers getting a shot down on the Blazing Beards or the Infernal Ironsworn or whatever, but they're maybe overextending a little bit. As a final transmutation, Overcast comes down on the Screamers who are fighting the Demonsmith of Metal. He is losing that fight, but maybe with the final trans he can turn it around. Meanwhile, the Changebringers got caught up a little bit by the Lord. Starting to get away now, and Kairos gets up in the sky. I don't think Kairos has used any of his nets yet. No, he hasn't used any, so I guess he's not that worried. Demonsmith Sorcerer almost dead. His final trans against the Screamers was a little underwhelming. And the Changebringers are back, trying to hit the Blazing Beards. Still a lot of ammo. I guess 8 volleys isn't that much. Zongor is currently getting rolled as the blasting charges file in. Still doing really good damage after all the nerfs that they took. One of the Screamers did die while fighting the Demonsmith Sorcerer. He's going to finish off the other one as Kairos gets off a little pendulum poke onto the Blazing Beards and Infernal Ironsworn. Chaos Dwarves are still down in the balance of power, and I would have to agree. As Kairos returns to try to snipe the Demonsmith Sorcerer of Metal. Take him down to about 2,000 HP. Won leadership for a little bit. He almost routed, but decided not to. And the Soul Grinder is going to join in on the fun. Firing near Kairos to finish this guy off. Goes over his wing, does not hit him. Hits the Demonsmith Sorcerer instead. Chaos Fury is also trying to help with that. For Tzeentch on the ground, things are going okay. They're holding their ground against Goblin Laborers and killing them off, but the elite Chaos Dwarf Infantry plus the Demon's Tongue are going absolutely nuts. And the Bull Centaur Renders are still full HP, I suppose. Demonsmith Sorcerer is routing. Kairos going to leave the Chaos Furies to it as he peels off to do his own thing. The Changebringer is still running around, still not wanting to take any ill-advised fights. As they blast the Infernal Ironsworn again. Before taking a giant rear charge. Oh my god, that was so much damage. Oh yeah, they running. They running for them hills. Soul Grinder only has 1 volley left. Still have 3/4 HP. Bull Centaur Render to deal with. An almost full Iron Demon. And then an almost full health Lord. The Changebringers need a net, and they need it soon. Kairos really has to help them out. They're down to 10 models out of 12. And they're about to Demonic Instability Crumble soon. Still has all 3 nets, and he hasn't used any of them. Get a decent shot on the Bull Centaur Renders. And he nets the Bull Centaur Renders, not the guy flying after the Changebringers. That could doom the Changebringers and maybe cost him the game. Starts to fly away. So the Bull Centaurs are stuck in Zongors and fighting that thing, but, I mean, still. These guys are down to 6 models. Get 1 last shot off onto the Bull Centaur Renders before they're probably going to get hunted down and Demonic Instability Crumbled. Probably. Kairos helps rout off some stuff while Zongors continue fighting. Soul Grinder out of ammo, now just a melee combatant that is surrounded by Bull Centaur Renders and enemy infantry. Changebringer's down to 5 ammunition and 5 models. Balance power creeping. It's creeping around. Infernal Ironsworn are going to rout, be chased by Zongors off the field. Blazing Beards are shattered, so are some of the Goblin Laborers. Oh no, these are also Infernal Ironsworn. Okay, so all the Infernal Ironsworn are either routing or shattered, which leaves the Chaos Dwarfs with literally their 2 single entities, and the Bull Centaur Render is about it. Big overcasted blue fire down onto the Demon's Tongue. It's a little bit of damage as the Soul Grinder continues to fight it out. The Changebringer's still alive, and Kairos still has 2 nets. I need to insist that the net needs to be used on the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire so the Changebringers can shoot for free. Not netting something that they're shooting at, because they can't really dodge it that well anyway. Yeah, and Demonic Instability takes him now. They lost the Changebringers. Kairos playing far too safe with those nets. Still has 2 left at 7 minutes into the game. Soul Grinder is about to Demonic Instability crumble, though the Bull Centaur renders the weapons are not far behind. At this point, Kairos is just going to have to blue fire spam his way to victory and hope that that's enough. He has some infantry left. He's a full health Chaos Fury. Maybe he can spam down the Iron Demon and then just drag the Sorcerer Prophet to death in the late game with, like, mass amount of infantry. Blue Fire instead going for the Bull Centaur Renders, trying to take out their mobility. Does not do that much damage, unfortunately. Arcane Surge going to power him up. Oracle of Eternity's out with 44% damage resistance. And do the Chaos Furies get a rear charge anywhere? Looks like they're trying to. Cascading Fire Cloak is out for the Source Prophet Fire to help him beat up on Kairos even harder. And in comes the rear charge from the Chaos Furies, trying to get rid of the Bull Centaur Renders and leave it as just a single entity fight. I mean, there's Goblin Laborers, but these guys are so cowardly, they literally don't matter. Bull Centaur Renders are out, which means the Furies need to retreat. They can't do anything to the big train, and they just risk dying. A little breath attack from this guy doesn't get too much done, but yeah, the Furies need to get back up in the sky and fight the Sorcerer Prophet for a little bit. Infernal Ironsworn returned for a brief moment before Terror routing away. That is a net onto the Demon's Tongue, but what's the follow-up? There isn't one. There isn't the damage to have one. We have Zongors just fighting him. We ain't gonna cut it, Chief. Kairos is back up. Another blue fire down onto the Demon's Tongue. Does a little bit of damage, but not enough. Everything is starting to rout away now. And that is a heal for the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire because Kairos casts spells near him. Kairos is going to rear charge the Demon's Tongue. Gets a solid hit onto it, but I think he's about to be 2v1. Everything else for Tzeentch is routing besides the Furies who are coming back to the fight now. And Kairos, 1 net left. Does get a quick blue fire onto the Soul Grinder thingy, the Demon's Tongue. That's it, not a Soul Grinder. 2,500 HP for that, 7,000 for Kairos, 8,000 for the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire. I think this is a Chaos Dwarf dub. As the Iron Demon just rolls through the Zongors, getting rid of all of them. Oracle of Eternity trying to keep Kairos safe as he gets back up into the sky where his Screamers are. I suppose he wants to take a 2v1 fight against the Sorcerer Prophet while he spams blue fires onto the Demon's Tongue. Try and get rid of that thing the old-fashioned way. There he goes. Good rear charge, plus a bolt change coming through the trees. Does it make it through the branches? It should, but you never know. Sometimes it gets weird. There we go. Good shot. One more overcasted blue fire should take out the Iron Demon, but it looks like the Chaos Furies plus Kairos are just trying to do it right now. Things down to about 500 HP. Kairos goes in for another hit. Does manage to miss. 32 melee defense versus 35 melee attack. And I can't find its health bar. For some reason, it really doesn't want me to know that. 468, so the infantry have hit it, but Kairos hasn't in a while. Fight continues on. Cascading Fire Cloak, buffing up the Sorcerer Prophet once again. Chaos Furies fade away. All the infantry are routing except for this Forsaken. I think Kairos is trying to line up another blue fire. He uses it, but not onto the Demon's Tongue. One of the projectiles happens to hit it, while the rest did hit the Sorcerer Prophet. The Demon's Tongue is down. We have Forsaken and a Bull Centaur Render. And then we have Kairos and a Sorcerer Prophet of Fire. Sorcerer Prophet of Fire, I have to think, has the edge in this. Kairos gets to safety. It looks like he's lining up another blue fire. There it is. He's trying to hit it as soon as the Bull Centaurs come here, so they take a little bit of extra damage and also rout while he's still hitting his primary target. Dives in, terror outs off the Bull Centaurs, and they should, excuse me, rout immediately, and they shatter. It is a 1v1 between Kairos and the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire to decide the series between Calambity and the Gentle Rat. I really think Kairos is outgunned here, however. Oracle of Eternity trying to keep him safe for now, but he's down HP, he's down melee stats, he's just not the combatant that this other guy is. Well, he has done good work all game. 1,700 value, I suppose. The other guy is 2,300. And Kairos without regrowth is just not the same monster he used to be. Point blank blue fire does a little bit of damage, and then there's a Gaze of Fate, reducing the melee attack of his opponent so he can maybe get some better shots in. Main problem is Kairos is extremely low melee attack of his own. 35 is pretty pathetic versus the 45 melee defense of the Sorcerer Prophet. So that's what's supposed to make Kairos balanced, is his low melee stats, so I'm not really upset about it. Cascading Fire Cloak out, making it even harder for Kairos to hit this guy. He's almost double the melee defense of Kairos' melee attack. I love how they're fighting in the trees just to spite me. Just spite my efforts of seeing anything. But Kairos is taking forever to die. Die he shall. Sorcerer Prophet's just kind of a lot better at this. Even shooting him with a pistol every so often for flammable. Good lord, Kairos takes a long time to die. Physical resistance plus the Oracle of Eternity popping up every so often is pretty brutal. Another Cascading Fire Cloak. Kairos takes some serious hits, and there is army losses. A very good game, very good series between these two. For Calambity, 2,100 for Kairos, 2,700 for the Soul Grinder. Forsaken, mixed but overall good. Zongor's mixed, overall kind of bad. Changebringers had a very hard time. Screamers and Furies did okay. For the Gentle Rat, Sorcerer Prophet of Fire hard carried. Demon's Tongue did pretty well. And the Bull Centaur Renders and the Hero did okay. Not amazing, but okay. GG. Good win to the Gentle Rat. Roar. Subscribe, yes, yes.